Block trial has been raging on. There's been a few small updates in it recently. But one thing, and I know I'm a little bit late on this news, but one thing that's been catching a lot of people's interest is the shock revelation that a certain YouTube commentary man by the name of Trenches News, let me put this up. Trenches News has been outed as one of the informants in the O Block trial. And not only that, he was apparently up on the stand cracking jokes and calling himself the Michael Jordan of YouTube. Now, Trenches News, I do respect what you're doing, but come on. Your boy over here, you want to talk about the Michael Jordan of the snitching on rapper YouTube game. You know what I'm saying? You got to at least put your boy in that conversation. But my guy, Trenches News, was legitimately in court testifying, putting mans away. And apparently this is what his real name was Martel Wiley. That's come out. And I guess this is what he looks like. I understand why he was wearing the mask, if I'm completely honest with you. My guy is looking like a cracked out G Herbo over here. It's not a great look. But shout out to Trenches News. So over the course of nearly 2,000 YouTube videos, this guy's prolific, absolutely wild. He has always covered his face and often discussed the violent intersection, get this bigger, of Chicago's gang and rap culture. But Wiley, not Wiley the UK rapper, but Wiley Trenches News, ditched his signature G-Lock mask on Thursday and took the stand in the federal trial surrounding the brazen killing of rapper FBG Duck. In doing so, he revealed himself as a long-time government informant who's been paid handsomely, not as handsome as his face, he's not very handsome whatsoever, for his cooperation. Speaking in quick bursts as if he were fitted with a switch, Wiley cursed, cracked jokes, and discussed his close connections to both the victim and defendants, some of whom he identified in surveillance footage. His tone and tenor closely resembled the YouTube videos that he posts to his channel, Trenches News, where he repeatedly discussed the case. He described himself as the Michael Jordan of YouTube, boasting about his channel, which had 114,000 subscribers. Come on, Michael Jordan, 114,000 subscribers, come on. I don't even know basketball well enough to know what player you would be in comparison to your boy, Big MJ over here. But realistically, I know I'm not Michael Jackson of YouTube, but it is what it is. During his testimony, he acknowledged that he reached out to law enforcement and offered to help shortly after FBG Duck was gunned down in the Gold Coast neighborhood. He noted that he was close friends with Duck's slain brother, describing Duck as one of the coolest and smoothest dudes. And that's why I'm here today, for him. Wiley greeted Duck's mother, Mama Duck, as she left the courtroom. His perspective on Duck's death is unique as he's been affiliated with both gang factions at the heart of the case. And then this is just a little bit of detail about the case, which we've seen. So here we go. This is actually some of the defendants, I believe. 6 members of the associates of the O Block. 6 members and associates of the O Block faction of the Black Disciples, the BDs, were charged in the killing of FBG Duck and are shown at the trial at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse. Dirksen? How are we going to get a fair trial when the courthouse is named after your boy Smirkio? I do not know. I will never know. But anyway, apparently Trenches News joined another BD faction when he was 15, later moving to O Block, and he eventually shifted to the other side in 2010 when he fell out with members of O Block and was shot. He reflected on his time in the streets and insisted he's no longer active and uses his online platform to bash gang members and encourage kids to avoid the path of violence and incarceration that he had taken. At one point, he told jurors he's trying to help the city be in a better place. There ain't no money in the streets now. They're broke, starving gangbangers. They need to get on YouTube. I respect, honestly, that's one of the most positive and developmental things I think I've heard in this entire case. I don't think... I honestly, I respect what he's doing. I truly respect what he's doing. People want to say that Trap Lord Ross is a snitch. And Trenches News is out here doing this. Okay, so next time you want to say Trap Lord Ross is snitching, Trap Lord Ross is whatever, this and that and the other, Trenches News is really out here doing it. And not only that, but he made a pretty penny doing it. So despite these comments, he spoke fondly about the first shooting that he carried out, calling it a rush and noting that a gang rival had been struck 17 times. At the same time, the convicted felon downplayed his own long criminal record and an outstanding warrant stemming from a pending case in Minnesota. Is that him? Hang on. He looks so different. So that's him. That's Trenches News' real face. He looks hella different. They did him dirty. They did him dirty, bro. That's how the courthouse lawyer drew him, colouring this in goddamn crayon. They did him dirty. He looks a lot more. I mean, not much more presentable, but still. Earlier this week, FBI Special Agent Kevin Doyle told jurors that Trench's News was paid nearly 25 grand in roughly 15 installments. So look, quick maths. Right? Quick maths. Quick little bit of maths for you. That's 666.66 per installment. My guy was getting 1,600 racks per meeting with the FBI. That ain't so bad. If I'm honest with you, I would take that check, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? It ain't quite a Skillshare read, but I would take it. I would take that. So maybe the FBI could hit me up, could hit up my management, and you know what I'm saying? Get a couple of deals going. If people are going to call me a snitch anyway, so I might as well get the bag. I might as well get a little 1,600 off it. So Trench's News provided background information, reviewed surveillance footage, and reviewed social media postings. But he was dropped as an informant when he grew unresponsive. Meanwhile, defense attorneys pressed the government for information about his prior cooperation with the Bureau, which goes back more than a decade. So look, 1,600 per meeting with the feds sounds good, but that's spread over 10 years. That 25 racks, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a like a not great yearly salary. But we're talking over 10 years. That ain't really the bag. I don't know if that would be worth it to switch to snitch, to be honest. I'm going to tell my agent to say no to that one. But on Thursday, the lawyers successfully argued for more time to review FBI documents that were recently disclosed, including notes of interviews. So apparently Trench's News was told that he shouldn't discuss the case in the meantime, and he said that he wouldn't be discussing it on YouTube. Now, I feel like that's super interesting. What really is interesting is he was actually in the courthouse dissing the O Block 6 and calling them the Sloppy Six, which I think is hilarious. I know this is old news, but I do think this is cool. I don't know how he was allowed to do this whole little setup and get away with it, to be quite frank. Is this on his own channel? On his channel, I respect it. I'm not even subbed, man. I'm going to sub to Trench's News before he gets smoked for being a snitch. He's a joker, man. He's cracking all sorts of jokes.
The trial started, man. The trial started. Gotta be the first person here, man. The trial, man. Ask the judge, can I?
It's crazy, really, when you think about it, you know, like, he is out here blogging this whole thing. He's in the court. He's making little whoops about the whole situation, cracking little jokes. But it ain't a laughing matter, you know. FBG Duck was really murdered, allegedly, by these individuals that he's going against. Look, he's even tagged me in here, Traplaw Ross. Shout out to him.
Duck trial, man. Hey. They subpoenaed me to court. I gotta come here, man, and tell them, man, there ain't no more discrepancies. I'm here. I'm Leo Carlton, man. No. Hey, nice courtroom. They got some nice snacks downstairs. The average Italian beef and Pepsi, man, but they got fruit snacks. They got they got gyros and shit like that. They hooking us up. You hear me? They hooking us up. And they
got the gyros.
Gift card, man. The Bath and Body Works. I can't miss this opportunity.
He's cracking a lot of jokes, man. It's actually wild, really, that he's literally in the courtroom with the G-Lock mask on, cracking these kind of jokes as a genuine government informant. And we've got his face now. His face is all out here. He might as well damn near start doing the videos bait face once this trial's over, and he definitely needs to move out of Chicago.
Tomorrow they getting out.
I think he isn't living in Chicago.
So steak and shake. So I'm gonna make sure I be true here tomorrow too. Yeah, this the courtroom, man. I had to show y'all. So, don't live duck. Yeah. Yo, this is Trench's News. Live, reporting from you. Turkson, Federal Building, man. Today is Carlton Weekly Day. O Block Sloppy 6, man. This is the trial of the century. Got Truth Teller in the washroom smoking coke, sniffing rocks, and then we have a couple more bloggers in here. But Trenches
Why am I not there? I need to be there. I know that I'm banned from Chicago and all of that good stuff, but I should be there, man. I kind of feel left out. I should be in the courtroom with Trenches News and the Sloppy Six.
was able to get.
You imagine if you were one of the O Block 6 and you look up and you see me there on the stand, because you think Trenches News, like, let's be real, right? I ain't saying Trenches News isn't a good journalist, but he also, you know what I'm saying, he ain't doing 4-6 hour whoops. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if the Sloppy Six, if you catch me in the courtroom, you know it's a wrap for you. You know it's game over.
Early access to everything. I know how you wondering how I'm still in here with my mask on. Hey, don't worry about that. Ask the cop who's on the stand for Melly. Now, that being said, I'll be back at y'all with more updates on the news, on this news report. I will bring you the latest. And shout out to the people who left the donuts and the coffee this morning. It was nice and hot. The donuts was creamy. And they gave us some gift cards, man. I don't know anybody who do that. They don't do that in Cook County Jail, man. So shout out to all the federal people who made this happen, man. This Trenches News, man. I'll be back at y'all at 4 o'clock.
It's funny because you can tell he's truly proud of what he's done and what he's involved in. I'll be honest with you, man. I respect it. I do respect it. But he did get cooked on Twitter for this. Twitter were not feeling Snitches News. There was all sorts of hilarious tweets. This is a classic.
I've seen him do it.
That's what they're saying he was. You know what I'm saying?
Linda.
I'm not trying to play no copyright. They're saying this is Trenches News when he goes back to the trenches after telling the news. Ah, man. Look what they did to my boy Trenches. Look what they did to my boy. Not a good look. Not a good look. Shout out Chicago Scene 88. Am I following him? Yeah, I'm following him. Man, Trenches News, you know what I'm saying? He was all over here. That ain't nothing to do with it. This is actual Trenches News. You want to talk about it? There are actual trenches in the world, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that was going on, but you know what I'm saying? Is he been uploading? Like, is Trenches News been active? He's still active, you know what I'm saying? He's still doing his thing. If anything, I feel like he's capitalized off this quite successfully. He's still wearing the mask, even though he's kind of been outed with his face and all of that good stuff. But I got to shout out Trenches Newsman for honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it G and give my opinion. Takes a lot of guts to do what he's doing. It really takes, you know, on the one hand, you could say it takes an absolute madman to do what he's doing, and I don't envy him. Like, people say, Trap Lord Ross, you can't go to Chicago. Like, Trenches News is actually in the trenches, or at least he's trenches adjacent. And he's really putting it all on the line for, I would say $25,000 ain't worth it to potentially get Sonny Corleone in 63rd by, you know what I'm saying, the new generation of O-blockers. But he's standing up for what he believes in. I think this is more than money to him. I think he probably does want justice for FBG Duck. It's very brave what he's doing, and it's very, you know, it's pretty wild, honestly. I don't think this is completely unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this. And honestly, like, you know, this is really make or break for Trenches News. You know, it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here, how the case turns out. I'll keep it real with you. I'm still not expecting much success when it comes to the to the court. You know what I mean? I'm not entirely sure that they've got much of a chance to O-Block 6. The evidence against them is overwhelming. It's sounding pretty bad for them. There's just so much evidence. They ain't going to be able to come up with an acronym like Young Thug, you know what I'm saying? Truly humble under God. Like, what's it going to be? Like, O-Block. Obviously, basically, it's just like, yeah, we did that shit. Basically, it's over. So all I've got for you, the last thing I want to go over here, because I've got too much info on this. There's a breakdown video of some of the evidence that was shown at the FBG Duck trial. This is just 3 days ago. So let's have a quick run through this, just see if we can get any insights to any updated news, and then I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna leave you to it. So,
Lifetime movie. Today they actually showed us the video of the suspects getting into the vehicle, leaving Parkway, and coming back.
That's not a good look. That's not a good look.
And they had you know, they were just basically breaking down the video and having people point out what they saw and what happened. So
That's crazy. So what's up with this video where they say they actually have footage of the shootout on the Gold Coast? Like, they keep bringing up that they got this footage. Was there any talk about the footage of, because you said it shows them getting in the car, driving, and then coming back? Like, did they talk about the other footage?
they have not, but they're going to. They're actually going to be going through all of this footage that's never been released, that the public has never seen.
There's been a lot of talk on Reddit for the past few months about the FBG Duck murder video, and I'm not talking about the video that some ghoulish person filmed on the scene with their mobile phone of Duck dying. There's allegedly some kind of surveillance footage from the store where the shooting took place. Apparently it's all been caught on camera. There's been a lot of rumors in Reddit, a lot of clout chasers, if I'm honest with you, claiming that they've got the video, that they're going to share the video. Now, I've always felt that that was complete cap. It hasn't surfaced. I think people are so clout hungry that if someone did have it, they would have shared it at this point. I don't think they have it. Otherwise, we would have seen it. But the state definitely does have it. If it exists, the state has it. Who knows if it'll end up becoming public as a result of the trial? And I you know, on the one hand, look, I would like to see it because I would like to just know once and for all exactly what happened that day. But on the other hand, you know, if it could be shown at trial without being revealed to the public, that's probably for the best. You know, it doesn't bring me any pleasure to have seen FBG Duck's last dying moments on the pavement. You know, that's not. I never wanted to see that. I never wanted to see Von dying on the pavement. You know, I know there's a certain poetic justice to the fact that you know, Von lost his life on camera on a cold hard pavement in the exact same way that, you know, he had caused FBG Duck to lose his life. There's no comfort gained from that. You know, that's sometimes the universe, you know, the serendipity and the way that events play out in the universe is just too, it's too ironic. It's just too perfect to feel real. You know, the way that Duck went out and the way that Von went out after all the, you know, Von only got a few months to gloat about Duck's death before he found himself in the exact same situation. So, you know, if I would be curious to see the footage, but I probably would say I hope it doesn't come out publicly. Like, if it could stay in the courtroom, that would be for the best.
And they're going to be getting into it. The trial is expected to go to about the first week of January. And it also depends on how long the jury takes to deliberate. But we got a couple more weeks of this. So there are going to be videos that are going to be released with information. And I think those are videos that are coming up. Because like I said today, we just started. We're at the beginning. We're looking at the video of them leaving Parkway Gardens, hopping in the car. And we're also looking at the video of them running through a stairwell. We're looking at a video of them coming back in a car. And on their way back, they actually got pulled over. Like, I don't think anybody knows this.
Wow, I didn't know that either. They got pulled over after the drill? That's crazy. The fact that they got pulled over and yet the police let these guys run amok for several months after the murder took place is wild to me.
On their way back, supposedly, a cop pulled up behind them as they were turning into Parkway Gardens. We can't see what the cop is saying to them because obviously there's no sound, but the cop said something to them and then they just left. They could have been telling them pull over, slow down or something, but we don't know. But it wasn't for anything, obviously. Yeah.
So right when they was like on King Drive,
coming back yeah. There was a cop behind them and the cop got out and said something to them. Yep.
And then just let them go and drove away.
Yeah.
It ain't just the shooters that were sloppy, man. It sounds like the police were a little bit sloppy as well, letting that one slide. But there's not been you know, I know I'm a little bit late to this. The Trenches news thing was the biggest piece of news to kind of emerge from the case recently. You know, that's my thought on it. I do wish Trenches news the best. I hope he can stay safe, stay out of trouble. And, you know, I truly just hope that he can move forward positively from this and that Duck can get the justice that he deserves. And that's all I've got to say on it for now.